Live. We'll do it live. God damn it. Oh, sorry. Hey.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Ginge Pedro Show. I'm, of course, your host, Cold Stone Steve Austin. Alongside me, the one and only Pedro Ang.
Yeah, the second moon of Arrakis.
What's up, buddy?
I'm reading Dune again.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
The Cold Stone Steve Austin. It's a play on Stone Cold and Cold Stone Creamery, the ice cream place.
Yeah.
I've been laughing about this all day, so
yeah,
I'm gonna get that out.
It's kind of obscure, but it's a good one.
But the wrestling fans from the 90s, WWF fans that pick up on it, they also have to be ice cream fans because they have to know about Cold Stone. I don't know if that's nationwide yet or what, but hello, Jay. Thanks for coming by, buddy. Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, buddy. So, how's your day been, pal? How's your week? We're just starting.
Dude, a lot of work, man. Lots of work. Hammering down at WAIFUS and KAIJUS, dude. Getting the trailer working on page 26, writing new things. So yeah, it's been busy. It's nice. I did some porchetta on the weekend. I'm still eating that. So all good, baby. All good.
Beautiful. What is porchetta?
Porchetta would be okay. In Italy, they grab the full pork and they braise it in a brick oven. But I devised a way to do it in the barbecue. But I only grabbed the pork belly, seasoned with the porchetta seasonings, which is like fennel, orange rind, salt, black pepper.
You guys cook it in a hole in the ground, right?
No. I roll it up.
I was being racist.
And yeah, but dude, Americans do holes in the ground too.
It was a long shot. It was a swing and a miss. Goal, baby.
I mean, if you wanna be racist about it,
you're wearing loincloths and
did you marinate it in the juice of grubs or something? Like maybe.
Okay.
Some First Nations down here do eat grubs. Yeah, like those larvae that grow in palm trees. They eat that. I don't do that. I'm like, nah.
Really?
I become a gringo.
Good.
When it comes up to that, I become gringo.
Wonderful. We're happy to have you, buddy.
Yeah.
Honorary white.
Where's my green card? Yeah.
Okay, let's get this show on the road here. We are running a little bit behind. Yes. We do have the chosen one, if you will, Christian Zaffo, the comic creator. He's got a FundMyComic running right now. Let's just go ahead and bring him on out. See money, big dog. Roof, roof. What's up, buddy?
What's
going on?
Yeah, dude.
What's up, man? Thanks for joining us.
The chosen one. That's a lot of pressure, man.
That is. Start high, work low.
Yeah. Wow.
I like it. Yeah. You just have to disappoint people in phases, really. You can't do it all
right away. I start right away, disappointment, and then can only go down from there.
Unless you're playing Pokemon, then being chosen in Pokemon, it's not that dramatic. Yeah, it's just like, I choose you. Yeah. Okay, next. So yeah, depends on the franchise. So yeah, the chosen one. So let's get the show on the road, Ginge.
Let's do it, buddy.
Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah. So, Christian, tell us a little bit about yourself, buddy. I keep saying comic creator. I'm not sure. I know you're a writer, right? Are you also an artist?
No, well, it's actually the other way around. I was the artist first, turned into a writer.
Very well. And my apologies.
Yeah. So this is basically the Chosen One Studios. First off, every name, whether it's a studio name, a character name, or whatever, was something I created back in high school.
Nice.
And they have stayed with me, and they've evolved and got more refined, and
but that's cool.
Have been added to over the years. So
yeah.
So you're in high school. You are the chosen one in high school. So.
Obviously. Absolutely. Okay. I mean, I don't want to carbon date you, but what were the movies going around when you were in high school?
Oh, that's going to be rough to remember high school.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, being the chosen one, I'm picturing several movies that will make you go that way. But
I don't want to. Just came out.
Okay.
The Lord of the Rings movies were in the midst of going on.
Okay, there's the chosen one there.
Yes. The Star Wars prequels, which is
right.
Yeah,
started.
but there's a chosen one there too.
Yes.
So you see,
you see the theme, right?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. And grunge was huge.
Yeah, dude. Like I don't know.
It was
like
the
I
only
remember,
time grunge was huge.
Yeah, like looking at a like an obscure chosen one movie is Jet Li's The One.
Jet Li,
Remember that one?
Yes.
Where he was like crawling through dimensions, killing himself so he can like accumulate his own power.
Yes.
Wow, I've never seen that.
But
sorry.
At that time, my favorite was Rumble in the Bronx.
Oh, Rumble in the
Jackie
Bronx
Chan.
is cool. Yeah, Jackie Chan.
And that guy's insane.
Did you guys see Unleashed? I think that's underrated Jet Li.
Yeah, but Unleashed it's a bit older. Like we're talking like the era of Romeo Must Die.
Yeah,
The One, and like it has Aaliyah. Like the she was like an R&B singer, and she played like the Akasha, the Queen of the Damned.
Oh yeah. I love that movie, Queen of the Dead. People hate it. But
Queen of the Damned.
I love it.
And Aaliyah was in Romeo Must Die. And that's the thing, like Jet Li wanted to be like a more serious version of Jackie Chan. And I don't know, he was successful, but not as much as Jackie. So yeah.
I think the last big thing he did that was mainstream, wasn't it like Hero or something like that?
Yeah, but the thing is like he said he didn't want to make wushu movies anymore. And that kind of destroyed his career. Because I mean he's a wushu fighter.
Yeah. I think actually one of my favorites, again, I think I have an interesting, I think a lot of people would call it bad, but one of my favorite Kung Fu movies, it is a Western movie, but it's like, the casting is just so delicious, but The Forbidden Kingdom, which I think was a little bit after Hero, but that's where Jackie Chan and Jet Li finally meet and fight. On top of being a really great, like, hero fantasy, this nerdy kid who gets picked up, into Kung Fu movies, gets to travel to ancient China and work alongside Jackie Chan and, win this babe's heart and become the hero. It's just, it's a great movie.
Loosely inspired in Journey to the West. So, yeah, it was good. Good. Yeah. But we're not here to talk about Kung Fu movies as much as we love them. We're here to focus on the guests.
Well, they're part of an inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Part of the whole story.
So you were inspired. Like your characters came to you in your high school days.
Well, it all started when I was 5 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, that was, when I was like 11 years old, I got into comics randomly by going down to the local stationery, picking up a comic off the news rack, which they still had back then.
Yeah, do you remember your first comic?
It was X-Men 147. It was the first one. I picked it up off the newsstand with the. This was before anyone knew that they were going to be collector's items or whatever. The local store stuck the sticker right on the cover, how much it was. Yeah, and so I think that was my first comic. But then I got into X-Men, G.I. Joe, and Transformers all at the same time.
Sweet.
And those are what started me down the road with my love of comics.
Oh, very
and
cool.
I think somewhere around high school is where I really got into knowing that, this is something I want to get into and work on.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Rogue Storm.
That Storm, man.
Very nice. I like it. This sort of reminds me of the Doctor Strange. Or not Doctor Strange. Was it Dr. Fate? No, not Dr. Fate. This is the Vision. There's a Vision. Yeah, an Avengers Vision cover.
Wow, from Doctor Strange to Dr. Fate to the Vision. Wow,
hey. They all sort of are probably. I imagine Jarvis could qualify for a doctorate.
Yeah, dude. That was a leap. I like it.
Okay.
So yeah, that got me into comics in high school. I had a good friend of mine who's still doing comics as well. They're actually working with EVS on something.
All right.
But we both got into it and we fed off each other. We created ideas. We went to conventions together, and at that age, with big hopes and dreams, we didn't really a lot of portfolio reviews and signings and stuff. Not really any foothold anywhere.
Yeah.
And then life took hold. You have to pay bills. You have to get a regular job. So
yeah,
I kind of drifted away from it for a while, but I was always doing it on my free time. And like a lot of stories nowadays, the COVID pandemic gave me the time to actually put things together and work on it. And kind of gave me a new boost to get it done.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, and that's what you have here. But I think, you know, looking back on it now, I've been working on this thing for about 3 years from inception to now. Right now, it's pretty much being formatted for print, which is there's a lot of as some of you guys know, there's a huge learning curve on everything here, and I can honestly say that this is probably the hardest part for me, is to try and get everything ready for. I have multiple companies that have to do printing because I went, you know, all or nothing. I went all in on the first one because I wanted to do like an intro to my universe on a whole. So it's an anthology of stories, and then there's a flip book comic with my 2 main flagship characters.
Wow, how many pages is the book?
Well, everything, when all is said and done, I believe it comes out to 104 pages.
Whoa!
Between the 2 books. But there's also a sketchbook,
nice.
Like a little bio story with art that I did for the anthology book. There's a print set that has a bunch of the my characters alongside the Professionals creator-owned project. I have Andy Smith's First Man.
Oh, cool.
Graham Nolan's Chinu, Aaron Lepresti's Wraith of God, and you have a Bart Sears one, and also I have what's the last one? Dan Fraga. Dan
Fraga. So no art.
So that's
no art bear. I'll
no. Well, so here's the thing, and I keep putting it in for. I think I asked you on the show to tell him to look at his Facebook Messenger, because I sent him and Tucci the actual image I wanted to use to see if they would be all right with it, and they're the only 2 that didn't respond back.
Dude, he hasn't answered me yet, so and I'm working with him. So no, he's really busy finishing Black and White 2. Man versus Machine.
Yeah.
In a world.
All right, very nice.
So more than likely that's why he's not answering. But dude, this looks great. But this is like a whole ensemble thing. Is this like a universe, or are they like loose stories?
So the concept is that like I have your sci-fi, steampunk, your superheroes, straight up superheroes, and then there's going to be one-offs of different types of. So I'm trying. Basically, my universe has a little bit of everything genre-wise, and they all live in the same universe, but not necessarily in the same time stream or on the same planet.
Gotcha.
I do have 2 stories that connect. One's the past, one's the present, and from their stories, you're going to be able to see a little bit of all these other worlds through their stories. But the way I wanted to structure it was come out of the gates with this, which is basically, I called it the Big Bang Theory, Big Bang moment for my for my company, for basically the whole universe. And so you get a little bit of everything. Even in these short stories, you're going to see they're all like issue zeros. So what you're going to see is there are a couple of them that do already start to overlap, and they're basically in the superhero universe. I think the 3 stories that you'll see right away do overlap, and then later on you'll start to see how the other ones interact. There's 2 stories, the past and present one. You kind of get a feel for a connection there too, like how it goes from one time period to the next. And it's a lot of playing chess basically with everything, making sure that they all at some point or another fit into this universe. And I started the issue 1, which is the next campaign that I hope to have up and running by November. These should be hopefully going into print in the next week or 2, and then fulfillment shortly thereafter. Once
that's exciting, man.
But this is the biggest commitment. This one here. The next from here on, it's just 24 or 32. I haven't decided how long I'm going to run them, but just floppies, and they're going to be short arcs, 3-issue arcs. So the first one I'm doing, the plan is to have one arc with one character run into the next arc with the next character, and be just a continuation of stories, but revolving. Each person will have their own story internally, and there'll be a big overall story as well. So in the next book, you actually see there's a whole 2-page spread of panels where something's going on in the background. It's a part of a future story to come, while this story is happening in front of it. So I'm trying to get it all together that way, rather than have multiple books telling the same story at the same time.
Right.
Oh, dude, that sounds like a layup from hell.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
I'm a big anthology guy, so I like the idea of playing with it in a more still sort of anthology in a way, but as you said, there's an overarching connection to everything as well with the story.
Right.
Very nice.
Yeah,
okay, so
I want to give the reader a sense of like, all right, well, I don't have to get them all, because they don't connect. You don't need one without the other, except for the arcs themselves. If you want that particular story, you would have to probably get that arc. But you don't need to collect everything I put out to have the whole story. But you can see, no matter what you pick up, you're going to see that it's existing in the same universe with everybody else.
You don't need to get everything, but you'll be grateful you did. So get everything.
Right. Ask for promotions at work and whatever you need to do.
All right. Mortgage the house. Do shit. Fuck it. Let's go. Yeah. Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about the characters here? It's not all, but since are they layered throughout history? Like a few of these characters are in different time periods, or is it just all over the globe? Or
so, let's see. Can you scroll down? Maybe we'll just do them in order. I think.
Absolutely.
Just do it.
Say no more. Or should I stop?
Keep going.
Say no more.
Say no more.
Okay, so this here is like, you know what? Actually, so this first one, the first character is Addix. He's one of my two main characters. He's basically my Punisher / Batman type character with the attitude.
Oh, Punisher / Batman.
But he does have his power set. He's basically your ex-military. His wife was accidentally killed in a car accident, and he's left to take care of their daughter alone. But he kind of falls down the old alcohol rabbit hole, and the daughter's left to take care of him. The military's looking to, find new test subjects that they can control that are highly trained, and he fits the bill to a T. So they make him an offer he can't refuse, and they basically lie to him. They use him as a guinea pig, and they turn him into Addix, which is he has super speed. He has an aura that can't be shut off. That doesn't allow him to make full skin contact with anybody anymore.
Okay.
His weapons and his tool sets are science experiments that were put on him as they were testing, because they knew basically what the outcome was going to be.
Oh,
so
okay.
they're the only things he can actually wear and put on. So that's why he has his uniform. He has a utility belt that basically that can't come off, but he can use it.
Right. The flip side of that, real quick, is like, otherwise, if we don't dress this guy, we're gonna have a giant, super-powered, naked dude,
right?
With dick and balls flopping around. So it's like we gotta do something here, guys.
I would have to place him in London with strategically placed fog in certain areas.
Yeah,
right. It would be way harder.
But he,
fire hydrants.
His aura that he generates is his weapon. He can increase it in mass. He learns as time goes on how to shape it into weapons, how to make it real thin enough to where he's almost touching something, and he has actually a support team, like if you remember Punisher,
so this aura will make him like impervious to bullets, right?
Yes, it would. Yes.
Okay.
And of course, just like everybody else, like Superman has his kryptonite. There's you'll see down the road that there are things.
So it's kind of like a force field. Like I don't know. Like I'm interpreting here like a Sue storm that can't turn off the fields, basically. Right.
Okay.
Cool.
And I didn't create the character where you have to see it at all times. It's basically there. You'll know about it. when he uses it or when it's getting amped up, like for speed, it helps against the friction, so he can go super fast. That's when you'll see it. That's when it'll be illustrated.
Okay, cool.
So anyway, yeah, so that's his story, and then you find out more. It really gets very elaborate after that. You find out everybody had an ulterior motive. He gets set up at some point as a fall guy for basically the whole country.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
So that's a bitch.
That's the worst.
Okay, so this is Addicts right here, right?
That's Addicts, yes.
So we can okay, very nice. Yeah, I can see the Punisher influence right here.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, great. So who's the babe?
That's
God hold.
And that's so that's a character that you'll meet at the very end of the first intro story, and you'll kind of get more of a feel of who that really is and what the issue is with her on the very last page of that story, and then it goes into that leads into his 3-issue arc.
Okay.
So I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
No, very fair. So this is basically
as much as you feel comfortable.
Yeah, and then so what's the next main character is this one right there. This is Aaron. He's basically Superman if he was a Greek demigod. This is basically the next line of succession to your Greek gods. And he is basically the next Zeus type character. So his story starts where he has 2 associates, friends, brother and sister, the way they refer to themselves, because they're all one. And what happened is the elder gods, there was I give you a little bit of background story between the strife between them and the older gods, but it seems that they've gone missing. All the original Greek gods have gone missing, as well as the Norse gods. They both exist in this universe.
Okay.
And one of his friends becomes the new oracle, and that usually only happens when the old one has been killed or just has died. So they assume based on that all the Greek gods are dead, but now they're trying to figure out what happened, which of course isn't the case, but it leads them on this quest. And his friend becoming the new oracle, the new prophet, has visions, comes across some documents that really has no idea where they came from, but they exist. And it leads them on this journey to Earth to find others like them. And the prophecy is that when they find them all, it'll lead them to the understanding of what happened to the elder gods and prepare them for this big epic battle that's supposed to determine the fate of the universe. So, and there's a lot of hands in the pot for this. You have the good and the bad on both sides, the North and the Greek, and then you have the humans. So
in the middle,
yeah. And there's a lot of things going on.
I actually really like because superheroes are, essentially modern sort of pantheon of gods. People have described, like the mainstream. Yeah, exactly. So I like the idea of you sort of taking that one step further and actually making them essentially descendants of gods, or basically gods themselves. It's actually I just like the religious sort of.
You'll see there's different
thinking about it.
There's different facets of it. There's the ones that are they're all called demigods because their thought process was the original Greek gods. There was a lot of beings born between the gods intermingling with the humans and having babies, which were so
they were frisky.
So it's kind of taking that premise and throwing it on its head to the point where it wasn't actually humans, but it was, and not in all instances, but it was some of the Greek gods intermingling with some of the Norse gods and having children. And then there's in all good books, humans like to experiment on everything they can get their hands on. So there's a situation with that too, where you have humans created their own basic demigods by using the God gene process, and it's basically just DNA splicing between humans and the gods, trying to turn themselves into gods. And nothing ever goes right when they try to do that.
Yeah, science.
Oh, that's so annoying about human beings, that we feel the need to push that shit. Never mind the sort of the fiction element. There's like Bill Gates apparently has full reign to. I live in Florida, so apparently he has like full reign to release genetically modified mosquitoes, which to me is just, why would you even do that? And why are you just allowed to release mosquitoes onto the population? Like, it's just all kinds of whys. I have so many whys.
All kinds of wrong there.
How messed up do you get to want to increase the wickedness of a mosquito?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not to make it anything show, but it's like, I mean, I don't trust Bill Gates to not try to genetically enhance these things to like stab you with something, right? It's like, come on.
Dude, I'm pretty sure Bill Gates has a list of all the wages he receives and what willies he received in high school.
Yeah.
And he's resenting the world with that shit. Yeah, lock me in the locker room, will ya? Mosquitoes now. It's like, yeah.
It sounds like he's like the subject matter for that. Remember that movie Mimic?
Yeah.
Where they turn those roaches into.
Yeah, it's just. Ugh.
I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, they experimented on roaches to kill normal. I think what was it? Normal roaches.
Normal roaches. Yeah, they were modifying roaches to become a predator for roaches.
Right. I mean? But they evolved drastically every time they laid new eggs, and they evolved so rapidly that they became like mimicking humans.
Yes, and it's this huge like roach-like killer that's really fast. Yeah, dude.
Sounds good. Actually,
that gave me a jump scare. Actually, like the last jump scare I got that I screamed in the theater was a Mimic. I remember it vividly. I was with my girlfriend, and we both went, ah! And then we were embarrassed for a while. But yeah,
like a '90s movie or
it's a '90s movie. Yeah, I think it was '97 or '98.
I feel like I have the cover in my head. Like
Mira Sorvino was in.
See it.
Yeah. Mira Sorvino was hot.
Yeah, let's find out, everybody. What was it called? Mimic,
yeah.
Movie.
Yeah. And I think that, like everything else, they had a good first one, and then they went and made like two or three others that were horrible.
Remember Species? Yeah. The first one was good.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
Species,
then it went to hell really fast.
Really fast, yes.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah. Okay, no, I have seen this cover before. Never seen the movie, but it's like on Tubi. It's on the streamers a lot.
Yeah. Check out Species too, James. You're gonna enjoy that one.
Oh, yeah, I grew up on Species. I actually like the sequels, even though yes, they do just kind of turn into cheesy sci-fi stuff. Yeah. But I also love Wishmaster, which I feel like is another slept-on movie that people could argue gets worse, but I think really the only bad one out of that one's probably either the third or the fourth one. It's where they first replaced the guy that had been playing the.
I saw the first three. When I finished the third one, I was like, I'm done with this. That happened to me with a '70s horror film called Phantasm.
Oh yeah,
the guy that would kill you with balls. Like, he's killing him with balls. Yeah, he had like a golden ball and a silver ball,
and it had the blade that came out of it.
Yeah, dude, but that movie was cool. The first one was cool, but the second one was like, dude, you guys are doing too much drugs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? In '70s, the ones that are sad.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was like around the time of Hellraisers, right?
What's that?
Phantasm, wasn't that? I could be wrong. Wasn't it in the same time period as like the Hellraiser movies?
No, Phantasm is before. The first Phantasm is like '78, I think.
Okay.
And then the second one is like early '80s. So yeah, it's a little bit before because Hellraiser I think is '86.
Right.
But I might be wrong.
It says 79 on the first Phantasm.
79. There you go.
See Hellraiser.
Yeah, prove me wrong, Ginge. No, it's like, I was close.
87, it says on the first Hellraiser.
The first Hellraiser. So you see, I'm always a year before. I said 86, and it's 87.
Hey, I'm not trying to ball bust, buddy. I could. I sort of want to say close but no cigar. But
Exactly.
I won't stick it.
It's unnerving, man.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hop back into this mess.
All right.
Okay. Great. So I really dig Aaron. I like the premise of actual gods. That sort of gives it a little more weight.
Yeah. So those are the main characters. Then you have this one here. This is the.
Who's this lady?
So the story is twin. The story is Twin Paradigm, and basically, it's like a steampunk story. And what it is it's. Has anyone seen what's the name of it? Fringe, the TV show Fringe from back in the day?
Fringe, yeah.
So there was kind of like a side by side reality. So what happens is in that reality, the alternate reality than the one that the main story takes place in, there's the whole world is unified under a dictatorship, basically, and any threat that they present in the future, they kill the offspring. They have a means by which they can predict who's going to be a problem for their rule in the future, and they kill the offspring. The side effect to that in the other universe is it creates, by them not being born in the one universe, it creates a twin set in their universe. So basically, the soul that was supposed to go there comes to this universe, and they're born as twins.
Okay.
Twins, Basil. Twins.
Now those twins that are formed because of that have abilities when they're close to each other. So they can they gain special individual abilities, but they all, when they're in close proximity to each other, have the ability to open a rift between the two universes.
Okay,
you cut out a bit on my side. I don't know.
Can you hear me?
On your side? James?
No, I heard it, but
it's my cover the internet. Don't worry.
Can you still hear me?
Pedro lives in the jungle. Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear you. Pedro, can you hear him? You good, buddy?
So basically, what it is it's they discover that these rifts can be open to another reality when these children are in close proximity. So the government organization that's been watching this, story takes place 30 years after the first incident. So, and it's basically, like I said, this story in this anthology is from a narrative perspective of the person in charge telling a new family what the deal is with their children, because these children are from this situation or born from this situation. And then it moves on from there. It's basically they're trying to see how they can help maybe stop this from happening over there, because they see the problem that it's causing. Eventually, it'll lead to the two worlds colliding if this continues on a great scale. And then you find that the ruler on the other side, when they become aware of this, now looks to conquer yet another. Reality, so to speak.
Very Shao Kahn like.
Yeah.
Just settle for one. Right.
So it's kind of like a race to stop one another in this situation. But that's the overall story. There's going to be a lot of individual stories between some of the twins that get discovered. One of the things I did was, because they weren't destined to be in this reality, but that's where they were born, they don't have a predetermined fate. So they basically live in this void where they can do whatever they want. They can become whatever they want, because they don't have a path in this reality. So they can do whatever they want, and there's no, it's basically taking that theory that everybody has a predetermined path in life to an extent.
Yeah.
These characters don't have that. They can do whatever they want.
So they avoid determinism through the dimensional rift, basically.
Sure.
Okay.
I like it.
I do that sometimes. I try to make sense in sci-fi sometimes, and I know it's a waste of time. The things, like, as long as the story is cool and it sounds really cool, like, it shouldn't really matter. Like, it's just a device to like, project the story. But I really love the whole, like, dimensional thing. Can we exist in the same plane?
Yeah.
Can a soul traverse dimensions, but can matter traverse dimensions. You know what I mean? Like all those questions are always popping in my head. Like, huh.
Well, I gotta tell you, one of the things I always liked about comics and sci-fi and whether it's movies, books, whatever, video games, is as long as you take a little bit of reality and form it out of that, you can make up whatever you want. And, you know, one of the things that bothers me nowadays about people that read this stuff is when they ask the question, well, that's not real. They couldn't do that. That's the point. That's the point. None of it's real. They can't do it. That's why you're doing this. You know, your reality is when you go to work every day and you got to punch in and punch out and get a paycheck. You got to feed the kids. You got to walk the dog. You got to get your car fixed. You got to fix the flood in your basement. That's reality.
Yeah.
You don't need that comic book or a movie.
Yeah, that's the thing.
No, I completely agree. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, listen, Wolverine has adamantium claws in his skull, but yet they're going to ask, well, you know, how did he jump 50 feet?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, with adamantium body, like he should be really heavy.
Yeah.
So
no, I think there's even a larger sort of premise you're hitting at here. There's like a lot of philosophical ideas here. With you know, you got with the previous character Aaron talking about gods and you know them essentially being real. I mean, that has a lot of implications. You know, whether you really go into them or not, it's something to think about.
Yeah.
So this is like, are you doing that on purpose, or are you just catching things that catch your eye? Are you into this kind of philosophy type stuff, or?
So, I guess it's stuff that I grew up liking. I've always grew up liking mythology. I always thought it was ancient comic books, basically. You know, they made up stories to explain things they had no answer for, and they weren't real. You know, there was nobody riding a chariot turning the sun on in the morning. And
could you imagine being a kid in ancient Greece, like, oh, the new Zeus comic just dropped.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Right.
Yeah, people smoking like, I don't know, oregano. I don't know. Did they have weed in Greece?
They had something, I guess.
Yeah, they were like. I mean, I know there was cicuda, like the poison that killed Socrates, but what did they do for?
Well, everybody wanted to be philosophers, so there had to be some good shit over there.
Yeah, exactly. Some really good like.
Dandelion. High.
Yeah, some dandelion. Ryan just going.
I'm sure they tried to find whatever was growing, and
yeah. I bet the wine was a lot different too, as well. I might be making this up, but
that's another thing I was reading about. That booze was the only way to get hydrated before, because they didn't know how to boil water to kill amoeba. So if you drink water, you shit yourself to death. So they were all drinking. Even kids were drinking wine and beer, like very low percentage beer, so they can drink a lot of it, and kids will like become made something out of themselves, not just like rambling drunks at 18, but they were all drinking beer. Yeah, dude.
No, I can dig it. I guess it's something to do. Fuck it. We got Ray. Let's say hello to the chat real quick, everybody.
Why are you pouting, man?
Well, Ray, I hope it gets better, buddy. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for coming by, Ray.
Yeah.
Silverline. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Thanks for coming by. He draws the line. Drew in silver. Wonderful. I wouldn't have picked a different color. I know ginger is my thing, but I ain't doing a ginger line.
Your line would be like copper.
I'm sorry. Before I forget, I did tell Pops I'll mention it. I'm also for the new Roku, campaign that he has up. I'm doing a card set for that as well. It's one of the tiers.
Oh, sweet,
beautiful. Let's go. Fuck yes. Very nice. Actually, I know Pops is. Before he pops in here, he's going to want me to play that ad. So I'm on the Roku tier as well. I'm one of them. So let's promote that real quick, gang. Here we go.
Yo, Pops Van Zant here. The Madness Comic Network is evolving into the Madness Roku Network. We're taking our stuff to Roku. We're joining great channels like the American Horrors channel. We're taking our stuff over there, guys. We love it over there. You're going to love what we bring you. We got some great shows, all kinds of different stuff. Come join the madness, yo. Madness Roku Network right here. Peace.
Nice.
Absolutely. Dude, the WWE has forever changed. I'm talking about old school, but just promos have forever been changed because
It's weird.
that really reads like somebody doing a old school wrestling promo.
Yeah.
Like, come join us over here, brother. You're going to love what we're doing. You won't believe it.
I did that shit in one take with no script written. And that was the second one I did like that.
But the question, Pops, is did you rip your t-shirt while you were doing it?
Did I do what?
Rip your t-shirt. Like, I don't know, brother. This is going to be... You know, like, you're giving me some Hulk Hogan vibes, which are awesome, dude. Like, I'm not bashing.
I can blame Mike Barron for any promos, everything I do, because the very first promo I did for somebody like 4 or 5 years ago, he gave me a really stellar review on.
Oh, nice.
So I got all big-headed about how I do it, and I've done it that way.
Yeah,
yeah. But it's weird sitting in the backstage, listening to myself talk about something I could just come out and talk about.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
No, it's all good.
Mike Barron now has like a Sam Elliott sound like voice actor. And dude, like whenever I see like a Mike Barron trailer, I want to drink a Coors Light. Like it's the backbone of America. You know, it's like wow, like deep.
I think
voice,
Chris
that guy's on a horse.
I think that's Chris Braley. Chris Braley. I never get it right. Sorry, Chris. I think it's
come out and get your horse.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
But I didn't,
make sure you remember it.
It's weird to me watching myself do that spot when I, like I said, when I'm backstage and I could just come out and talk about it, and I'm like, why am I watching myself? You know?
Hey, some people really enjoy that.
Hey,
watching themselves.
I have American Psycho.
You know, I have fun doing all this. You guys know that. Christian, like he said, he's got some sketch cards on the Roku campaign that you guys can get. Original art. You get to choose what he draws. Go check it out. Ginge, get Ginge to help you do a 10-page script. There's all kinds of cool stuff on there, man. It's not just about the showrunners and the sponsors, but there's a lot of cool stuff for fans too, man. Go check it out. Just go check it out. That's all Peace.
Get out of here. Great pitch. Love it. Definitely check it out. Pick something up. I would love to write 10 pages for somebody. I'm always itching to play with it. Somebody else's toys, let's say.
You have an itchy pen.
Yeah, my hands itch a lot, buddy. What can I say?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
they're hard to scratch your hands.
There are creams and ointments for that condition, sir. But hey.
Well, how about this? Real quick. Ray says Ginger's rock. So let that be known.
Yeah, let that be known and put on the log.
Okay, excellent. Note of the day. Okay, anyway, so all right, let's carry on then, buddy.
So this is the next stop, which is this is Paradiso. It's called. It's basically the name of the new Earth they migrate to when our Earth is destroyed by those trying to stop the evolution of man.
All right.
Basically, for lack of another term, humans are evolving and they're gaining abilities, powers like mutants, and it's basically an evolution step. But the powers that be and the people that are against it feel that it's something that can be stopped. And during the course of years that this takes place, they do a prediction that at a certain point they're going to be outnumbered by the mutants and the people with abilities, and warring has already started, and basically they just destroy the Earth, and they use these arcs. There's an arc from each major continent and country that basically are all in the program together secretly, and they launch from the Earth, and they basically nuke the Earth, and they all make their way to this new planet. It's a 10,000-year trip, so generations live and die aboard these arcs, which are probably the size of 2 New Yorks. That's as many people as they can hold, and they all live on board this ship. So
wow.
So this story here takes place. I got ahead of myself. You'll see another story later. That's basically all that takes place in the space travel takes place in another story called Odin the Journey. Odin is the name of the arc that you focused on in that story, and
I like it.
And it's the mid time period. It's mid space travel, and it shows you, and it shows you what's going on aboard. Basically, the mutants are on board, and they're living basically in all the crawl spaces and the underbellies of this huge ark, and trying to stay hidden and survive from basically the peacekeepers, which are called monarchs in this universe, and they're basically cyborgs, and they're all female.
Obviously,
yes, their underlings are all males, but the monarchs are all females. And
real quick, Ray says, I got to bounce. Officially, phone's ringing. Got to pay them bills, he says. Have fun.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ray, for coming by, brother.
Yeah. Have a productive.
Orlando Magic Nation. Real quick. Hey, buddy. Thanks for coming by, man. Fellow Florida man. I like it. Sorry, Christian. Please, buddy.
No, that's fine. So this story, though, Paradiso, is the end point. And it incorporates a lot of medieval-esque type of clothing and sceneries and some, like middle-aged type stuff with futuristic stuff.
Okay.
And then again, like I said, though, but you still have the mutant situation that's made it to the new world, and to avoid the same catastrophe, they're kind of living in seclusion and trying to stay hidden. So that's basically, the past is the space journey, and the present would be the Paradiso book, which oddly the past is futuristic looking and more high tech, and the future is more fantasy-esque, Middle Ages looking.
Sort of Dune-y in a way, not to keep making comparisons, but it's just sort of, that's almost like Dune's technology in a way, because of and Pedro would know better, but the Butlerian Jihad, right?
Jihad.
That's why you have why all the humans are basically computers now, and they purposely.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't see the connection with Dune, because with Dune it was more of an ideological revolution. Where it says you will not make a machine that will imitate the human mind, and that's not what's happening here.
Right.
I like the fact that it was like an evolutionary conflict. So this is more human against human, more so than human against machine.
Right. This is all human against human. They're fighting their evolution into the future. Whereas, ironically, the other story is humans trying to evolve into gods.
There you go.
So in one story, they're trying to get there, and in the other story, they're fighting to stay away from it.
Yeah.
Right on, bro.
Very cool, man.
You're a writer's writer, man. I'm very impressed with the premise.
So the Renaissance look, does it have like an under meaning to it, or do you just like I like this period?
Well, so basically they're limited to probably one set of attire. The civilians on board the Ark. You think Star Trek. Everybody has the same suit every day.
Yeah.
Just about 10 of the same suit. So that's what they did on board the Arks. So they get to this new land, and they're making their fashion, their clothing out of whatever they can find. They didn't bring LL Bean with them. They got to go out and make their own stuff, get their own hide, get their own fur. So they are basically starting over to an extent, but they do have the technology that they brought with them. So they're not living in caves right off the bat. They are making housing and all this stuff and branching out.
Yeah.
So there is a focal point, which is going to be the main city, which is going to look very futuristic, because that's where they do their initial landing. That's where they initially set up. But then you're going to come across, like, this story here takes place out in the wilds on the edge of a cliff, a wooden cabin type structure. And that's where this main part of this is an 8-page intro story. And it takes place in this one house, which is very old school, because they're not near the city. They don't have all the technology, and basically they're trying to stay out of sight.
These are mutants, right?
Yes, the two people here, the older man and the younger boy, are both mutants. They're the main characters of this story.
Cool.
All right. Rock and
There's
roll.
a lot of character development. Father-son dynamic. Really cool.
And that's the Odin story there, which has a Chris Graves cover.
Very nice. How did you get a Bart Sears cover, man? This thing over here.
Yeah, that's
like classic.
I mean, begging and pleading and a lot of money. No,
yeah,
that will work.
Fair.
Yeah.
So Bart Sears and Andy Smith were both two of my main influences when I was in college, and I followed all their stuff. I basically have almost probably everything they've had printed. And yeah, they were just heavy influences on my art, my style, the things I like to look at. Nice. Heavy into anatomy. So,
I was gonna say on this cover right here, you can definitely
see
this cover right here. Yeah, you can definitely feel it over here. Okay. So, very nice, buddy. So tell us, is there anything else about?
Well, the Odin, that's basically, I already touched on that. That's that space story for the journey.
Right.
So those are two of there's 5 minutes. That's almost like my X-Men book, because there's a series of 5 characters and the creature in that book that you'll focus on.
I like it.
This one here is cool. Deadly Cargo. So now, this is basically a bunch of nowadays pirates that are for hire. So, and they only, in the vein of Indiana Jones and Tomb Raider and stuff like that, they only go after big targets that are of legend or myth. They don't, people don't believe them to be real. This is the group that goes out and finds those artifacts and those trinkets that are.
Sir, you're doing God's work. Because ever since Captain Phillips, the image of pirates has gone down the drain. So you're rescuing the image of pirates, and I salute you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kind of a Somalian thing these days.
Yeah, dude. It's just horrible. Like guys in really skinny guys in flip-flops with AKs. It just doesn't look cool. You can't play pirate music to that. I'm the captain now.
Well, plus you have an AK and a flip-flop. I mean, how does that work?
Yeah, dude. It doesn't work. You have no grip, so you can shoot properly.
The little thing comes out between your toes as you're running.
Yeah.
You just
Exactly.
You blow out a flip-flop and you're shooting your partner.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it's just not cool.
So
very nice.
Pirates.
Okay.
Yeah.
This book is a band of 3 characters, main characters. One is looks to be a young boy, but he's actually an ancient one, which in a couple of the stories you'll get a feel for. They'll acknowledge this ancient one group of beings, and as time goes on, you'll learn more about who they are. And one of the artifacts that the first artifact that they're going after is something that was left by the ancient ones. So the young boy is he has no memory of the past or what he was. He's learning as he goes. This character here, her name is Shinta. She's basically like a pirate met Wolverine.
All right.
Only those aren't her bones, but the claws are reminiscent visually of like a Wolverine type character.
Those are not her bones. They're the bones of her enemies. Yeah.
Nice.
And then there's the big muscle-bound brute but simple guy that's always
that's always adorable.
He's the comic relief of the group.
Right. Absolutely.
And he likes making. He's so where they live on a cliffside shanty town that's just for them in an uncharted tropical isle. And his big thing to do in between missions is sit with his blender at the tiki bar and make obscure drinks that most of the time taste horrible.
Okay. I have a friend that behaves just like that.
Yeah.
So
that sounds familiar.
That's where I got the idea from. I had a friend that was horrible at that stuff too. So
We have told him to stop several times, and he's just incorrigible.
So, yeah, so that's their big story. They're going on their first mission, and then you find out who their big rival is, and it's basically a race to this first artifact and to figure out why, after a millennia, this artifact has become active again.
All right.
Very cool.
I like it. All these are great premises, very intriguing. They've got great hooks. It's really something for everybody to get interested
Thank you. I think there's one more. I'm not sure where we're at.
We've got Deadly Cargo here.
Yeah, so that's the big guy. That's the big guy that makes the blended drinks.
Oh, okay. Right. Very nice. I like it.
And that's
it's
the
like
behind him.
Yeah, I like it. The character model, Diablo 2 Barbarian. Have you guys ever played Diablo 2?
I have not.
Very nice. Okay.
And
so great. Yeah.
So that's the Bart Sears and Andy Smith covers that I had done.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Which
was awesome. And then there's one story that's not there. I don't think I have a separate cover for it, is why. But it's called Jam. It's about a young kid who, while playing a game over the internet with one of his best friends, they beat this new game that just came out. And upon beating it, he's basically, his closet becomes a gateway, almost like Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, but it becomes a gateway to the video game realm. Mm-hmm. And he basically becomes the chosen one to help save the video game universe. And their rationale for getting him to become the chosen one and say, okay, is that it's bleeding over. The virus that's taken over the video game universe is bleeding over into ours. And if it's not stopped, both dimensions will be gone forever. And he has a watch that is given to him by this ominous God voice that alerts him when he's needed. So basically, the watch goes off, he runs into the closet, he's in another game. So every adventure would be a new game, different type of game, different genre, different baddie to beat situation. And the character levels up inside each issue. He can gain, whether he gains a new weapon or a mod or a power or an outfit or whatever. So sort of like in a real video game where you gain something after closing out a chapter or a story or whatever, or beating a certain person. The same thing happens here, only he can stockpile what he receives from each one, making himself increasingly more powerful. And then eventually, whenever I decide that story's met its end, then we'll introduce him to the big bad, and that'll be the epic conclusion.
All right. Cool. Very nice.
So it has that's one of those stories that has the ability to just go on for as long as I think it can, and then the ending is already preordained, you know.
So in a way, you are the big nemesis of this story.
That's it.
You're here until I tell you you're here.
That's it. It ends when I say it ends.
When I say it ends.
You die when I say you die.
Yeah, dude. Wouldn't that be a great book where the characters want to kill the writer? Like, he's gonna end the story, or we're gonna be through. We gotta kill him.
Oh, you're ruining my sequel. No.
Nice.
Oh, I do like that premise, though. Very nice. We got Neo Star in the house. Hey, brother. The brilliant star that shines through the night, the jagged rock and the boot of crime.
Yeah.
It's the savior of... Oh, slow down there, Popsy. It blasted through, damn it. The savior of a video game world. Sweet. So it's like Quantum Leap for video games. You definitely piqued my interest.
Cool.
All right, you. Get out of here. Damn it. All right. So, no, this is a really a hell of a campaign, honestly. Lots of interesting stories, lots of interesting characters.
Gotta get the word out on it, man.
Yeah, I think this is
the third chance campaign.
All right.
So it funded on Kickstarter. It got a little more momentum on. I think I had it up for a month on Crowdfunder.
Okay.
took it off of there, and then closed that one out. And then I put it up on FundMyComic when they came out because I wanted to try out the format. And and what I did was I added, for that campaign specifically, I added a hardcover, hardbound book that includes everything. It includes the flip book, the anthology book, the sketch book, the art book, the bio story, and it actually has a single page of the card set in the back, just the images, not actually perforated cards, but you'll see all 9 of the cards that I created for the campaign will be on its own sheet at the back of the book. And it's a nice, solid quality book that you'll be able to keep. And it's slightly oversized. It's I think it's 9 something by 11 something.
Okay.
So
very nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
what made you go with the oversized thing?
Again, I like the way their format. I'm using the same company as a print house as like Bart Sears and Andy Smith use Mix'em.
Oh.
And
I've used Mix'em.
And I have their books, same size, same binding, same quality that they've put out. And I can't pick them up from them on their campaigns.
Yeah.
And I mean, the quality is just great. Like it's durable. It looks good. It feels good when you're holding it. You don't feel like you're going to damage it.
Mix'em is a hit or miss, because I know people that like just put their hands on the fire for a Mix'em and others just want to see them burn at the stake. So yeah, dude. I think you had a good experience with them.
I think their hardcovers look nice, and I've seen enough of them from there. So, and that's all I'm using them for is the hardcover. I don't know how their floppies are, or if their soft cover bindings are good, or what the deal is with that. But I do know I like the way their hardcovers come out, and they're reasonably priced for that.
Oh yeah, that they are.
Head. And I'm using Comics Wellspring for the. Because, like I said, I mean, I have a couple of floppies with the art book and the flip book with the 2 main characters. I have prints that I need printed out. I have cards set that need to be printed out. I have 2 postcards and 2 sketch cards that I offered with the campaign as freebies that I'm going to get printed through them. And plus, they offer, next year, once this fulfills and I get the other campaign going, I'm hoping to close that campaign out before the end of the year, fulfill early next year. And I would like to take now, at that point, the stuff that I have from the 2 campaigns, plus whatever prints I have and everything, and try and start doing a few local conventions.
Nice. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the other half of the business.
Yeah.
After you get the book and create it and go through all that, it's like, all right, now we got to hit the convention.
Right. Yeah. And I haven't done to get it to a point where I could hire someone too, to give some new people some shots at some of the books that I have out there, because obviously for me to do it in three story arcs to go around the robin with all the books I have, it'll take a while. So that's the goal, the aspiration.
Very nice. All right. I like it. Thanks for joining us, Christian. Really appreciate
Thank you,
it, buddy.
Hey, dude. Very enjoyable, man. Doors are always open, sir.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah. Well, hang on real quick. We'll just see if we picked up a backer. Nothing. All right.
Nothing.
We do have the link. I believe we actually have the link in the Discord. Not the Discord, the description. Is there anything else you want to add or say additionally before we?
No. This campaign will be up for 2 more days, and 2 to 3 more days, since there's no end date on it. As soon as I get everything off to the printers, then that's when I'll take this down. But I would say a safe bet, if anyone's interested, next 2 or 3 days, it's still up. You can still access everything that's on it.
Cool.
All right.
And
very nice.
Look for the next one to come soon.
Nice. Do you have a title for the next campaign, or you're gonna keep that like close to?
No, the next one I'm starting with the Addicts character. It's gonna be a 3-story arc. It's gonna be called Addicts Unbound Fury.
Okay, cool.
So that'll be coming out next.
Very nice, man.
Kicking ass with a mohawk. What can you argue with? No. Okay, so we usually keep the show about an hour here, so we're going to go ahead and, as you can see, we're on the ending half of the thing here. So you're free to hang out, or you're free to go. We got to run a little bit of ads and do a little bit of promo before we end the show. But I did want to thank you again for joining us, buddy. And we have I know we have your Twitter in the chat. So if there's anybody interested in getting in touch with you,
yeah, definitely.
Also your website as well. Okay, great. I'm gonna bump you to the back here real quick.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Pedro. What do you think, buddy?
Bumping guests like that is rude. That's what I think. No, don't. I know you'd like.
It's an accident, and I do have a.
Of course.
Well,
of course. You have a trigger finger.
It's mostly an accident. I
do.
I get sort of
you're gonna stand by that one.
It's all live.
I know. Do it live. So yeah, we do it live here at the Ginge Pedro show, and I want the guests to know we really love them. And Ginge only has a condition. It's nothing personal.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I am mostly retarded. Mostly an accident.
Yeah.
It is mostly on accident. That is actually the thing of it all. Is it started on accident and then became on purpose as a game, and then I stopped doing it for a while, and now it's back to being an accident again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an accident, so I'll get the hang of it, and then it'll be on purpose again.
I mean, the good thing is somebody's having fun, and that's what matters.
Me.
Yeah.
That's what matters. All right. So thank you again to everybody that came by the chat. Orlando Magic.
Yeah, dude.
You got to link up sometime, buddy. I go to Orlando once a year. So
yeah, dude. So yeah, dude. The campaign looks awesome, guys. You can spread the word, get some backers on that boat, get some books, and yeah, dude.
It's a third chance campaign, so it's all done.
Yeah, it's all done. You're gonna get your
essentially no risk even.
Yeah, so have fun and have a nice rest of the evening, I guess.
Right.
I have to say.
Webmaster extraordinaire. Hit him up if you need a website. He's the dude. Okay, buddy. Let's see if there's anybody else. Oh, well, Pops is here. We know Pops is here.
Yeah, we got Pops here.
Okay. But is he actually here? He's usually in the back. But all right. So real quick though, before we summon the demon. Oh, he's there. Okay. So let me get this up. I'm going to start building the Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and FundMyComic pages within the next 2 to 3 weeks here.
Okay.
Like I'm going to be working, having it done. Hopefully by the end of next month. Let's say. Let's just put a date on it so I can stick to it. Let me see. I'm going to pull up the campaign. Sign up. We do have a sign up page here for everybody. I do want to check. I know I think we were at 81 the last time I looked. And for anybody that's interested in signing up, we do have this here. I'm trying to do it all myself here, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah, you are.
Boom! Let's go. All right. Happy to share WAIFUS and KAIJUS. My boy Neo Star. Hey, Pop, where the witches at?
What?
This guy right here. He likes bitches. What you say?
Okay.
We talk a lot behind
the ditches, bro. They're in the ditches.
That's a Rob Zombie.
Yeah, the witches in the ditches, right? That's where they're.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. We're launching at 200. That's the important.
That's a goal.
Indeed. And we are chugging right along.
Yeah, dude.
At a comfortable 83. Hey-o.
There you go. Hey-o.
Wonderful. Awesome.
That's so cool,
Thank you, everybody. Yeah,
so yeah, guys, if you can spread the word on this mailing list, because we have surprises for the signees. And it's going to be a very, very cool item that nobody else but the signees are going to get. And it's a big one. It's not like I'm not bashing at anyone's work, but it's not a card. It's something bigger. So yeah, spread the word. We're gonna come up with a formal announcement of what the perk is really soon. Shut up, dog.
There you go.
Yeah.
Where's the sign up? I will drop it right here for you, Christian. Thank you, buddy. It's back here. There we go. Okay, great. So on that note, everybody, let me check next week. I'm sure we'll get another fun guest.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. We got the FMC boss himself, Luke Stone.
Oh, we're getting the dawn of FMC.
Yeah, man.
I think we could get Neo to write that book. What do you think?
Yeah.
For the evil witches. Somebody back the $100 tier, and I'll write the best.
Could you imagine a book called Witch Hunter Van Sant?
I'm telling you, we got a dash can right now. Ginger's already offering to do a script. You know, we got artists all over the place. We can do an ash can right now.
I can do a Witch Hunter Van Sant story.
See,
just going about.
All right. You know, let's go ahead and end this show. I'm down, but I don't want to. We're holding our guest hostage here. He's being kind of.
Yeah, we are.
Poor guy.
And I actually have to go. I got stuff to do.
Okay, so everybody, we got Luke Stone next week. Thank you, especially to our guest. Thank you just as much, of course, to everybody that viewed. Thank you very much. And we will catch y'all next week on the Ginge Pedro Show.
Yeah.
Entertainment Group presents the Madness Comic Network with original programming and additional comic-related content.
What is Path of the Pale Rider anyway? Is it a comic book? No, that's not it. Is it this? What the heck is Path of the Pale Rider, man? There's no way this is right. How about this? I have no idea.
We're gonna rob a bank.
Oh, it's this.
Told that moron not to take out my Tchaikovsky tape. No matter, let's get started. Here we are, Nancy Moon. The last time we left our heroine, she had just joined my esteemed colleagues at level M. And the soldier who cannot stop talking, a magician with money issues, and a vampire with a checkered past. But there are other teammates she has yet to meet. One in particular might be a little bit shocking for her. I do hope she's not allergic. Back it today, won't you? Like right meow.
The Civil War was America's bloodiest conflict. Over 500,000 died to preserve national unity. When the war ended, Confederates like Harley Brogdon headed west, shooting game for the Army and gambling. When a card game turns deadly, Harley shoots in self-defense, killing the card sharp who threw down first. Wilfred Knorr, the card sharp's wealthy father, will stop at nothing to see Harley hang. Harley flees to Cobb's Gap, an old silver mining town at the foot of the Rockies. A remarkably peaceful town, especially after dark. But the sheriff harbors a dark secret, and no one dares go into the mines anymore. Cobb's Gap is full of secrets. People speak in hushed tones of something in the mines. Something worse than their cursed sheriff. Something even the Indians fear from the deepest pits of hell. Every secret will be exposed. Bronze Star. Order your copy at bronzestarcomic.com.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.